Shield Woman yields back to time. Mr. Mfume, gentleman is recognized.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. I've got a couple of quick questions. I know we're a smaller committee, and I'm hoping that we might even get a second round. And I want to obviously defer to both of the members here on my side of the aisle. I do want to be redundant, maybe deliberately redundant about a few things. Number one, I appreciated the testimony that nearly all Medicare and SNAP recipients are eligible for benefits, which would explode the myth that's been circulating that people are getting things that are not eligible. I want to underscore again what I heard was that most improper payments are due to paperwork errors, and not necessarily conniving persons trying to find a way to get a check. However, what I think I want to stop on more than anything else is the notion that was just enunciated, that we've got to stop it before it starts. And Mr. Diefenbach, I appreciate your comments that we can't play the game of pay and chase. That will go on forever, deplete resources, and frustrate everybody. I do want to ask if the 10 recommendations that you presented in your Senate testimony can be made available. I don't know that I have them, but I'd like very much to see them. And one overarching question, and then I'm going to get out of the way and yield to some of my colleagues, Mr. Chairman. Can all of you, individually or collectively, give me your assessment of what has happened and what will happen now that all these inspector generals are no longer in place to do the good job that they were doing to point out the crooks and the bad guys and to follow up with bodies like this, both in the House and Senate, that would allow us the ability to do what we've been able to do in a bipartisan way. I think what the effect is, but I need to hear it from the three of you, any of you.
Sure, I can start. So certainly the inspectors general play a key oversight role. They have responsibilities related to improper payments. Beyond that, they do audits of the programs day in and day out and can be very helpful in identifying some of the root causes that may lead to improper payments in the programs. And then also, they are really helpful in coming up with solutions once they identify those root causes, identifying recommendations that the agencies can take. So certainly the lack of their presence in some of the agencies would have a significant impact on.
Well, and in many of the agencies, and I'm just trying to figure out, now that they're gone, what do we do? I mean, what are agencies faced with, and is there a greater propensity for the kind of fraud and abuse that we've seen?
So, Congressman Mfume, the loss of the inspectors general was a great loss on a leadership level, on a productivity level. Our vice chair of the PRAC, Paul Martin, was the USAID inspector general who was dismissed, and we greatly miss his leadership. I think the biggest thing for the Congress is you're going to have less transparency, less visibility on what's actually occurring in agencies, because that's one of the hallmark principles when Congress set up the Inspector General Act, was to give you and the taxpaying public more visibility and transparency on an objective view of what exactly is going on. So I think you're going to have reduced visibility.
Ms. Wagner? Thank you.
And just to add an example to what my colleagues have said here, the HHS OIG is really important in supporting and funding state Medicaid fraud control units that investigate and prosecute Medicaid provider fraud. As I indicated, beneficiary fraud is very low in these programs, but provider fraud is common. In FY23, these units recovered $1.2 billion in criminal penalties and civil judgments. And also, the IGs and HHS would audit eligibility determination processes. And they were very effective in identifying major issues in states, such as duplicate payments to managed care organizations, incorrect interpretations of federal policy, and caseworker errors. So identifying these problems and working with the states to get them addressed is really a key role that is diminished right now.
Yeah, I think it would be fair to say that their dismissal has clearly exacerbated a problem that is clearly out of control now. Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, let me ask you a question.